All right, guys, we are going to explain your Chapter 5 project. So first thing you need to do is think of a job that you would like to have either after you graduate high school or college. You're going to use these steps to help you find a job that you'd like to have and find the median wage. So remember, median means middle. So it's the middle. It is not the lowest, it's not the highest, it's your middle. So what I want you to do is go to bls.gov. You're going to scroll down until you find the career box. Click on career information for students, and then there's another thing you need to click, which I'm going to show you. You're going to click a topic, then click a possible career, and write down that job title. So when you go on bls.gov, you're going to get something that looks like this. So here's your bls.gov. When you scroll down, you can see career information, students. This is the big thing. You need to click student resources. You absolutely have to click the student resources. Then it gives you a bunch of different topics. Now, I would want to be a math teacher. So I first look in math. I don't see teacher on here. So, it might be somewhere else. Oh, look it. Under helping people, it was educator. So look through a bunch of these and you can see what they are. So go to educator and let's see, what kind of educator would I want to be? Kindergarten, elementary, middle school teachers. Oh, that's what I'd want to be. So I'm going to click middle school teacher, and here it has a bunch of information. This is run by the government, and they've done a bunch of statistics to find these. So my 2010 median pay for middle school teachers right here, it says $51,960 per year. So I'm going to go back and write $51,960. Remember, this is the middle, the median pay. And my job title was a middle school teacher. You're going to write down what your job is and your median pay. Now Google the average starting salary for your job. So this would be the starting salary that you would use. This is the number that you will use for the remainder of your project. Try to find this for Pennsylvania. If you cannot, then use the national average. So I'm going to go ahead and find the average starting salary for a middle school teacher. Okay, I Googled and I found this website, and it has all of the states. So I'm going to scroll down to Pennsylvania, and for Pennsylvania, it says the average starting salary, which is in this column, for a teacher is $41,192. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on my paper. $41,192. $41,192. So that's the average starting salary. Now, if your job has a yearly salary like a teacher, skip number 2. If it does not have a yearly salary, then you need to complete number 2. So if you are hourly, then you need to first find out what your hourly wage is. Multiply it by 40 because that is the hours in a week. Then take that answer from number 1 and multiply it by 52 because there's 52 weeks in a year. And you're going to take this number, the last number is your starting salary, place it above. So this number would go up here if you are doing an hourly job. Then you need to find out some information of what you want to do. Either on your website or go somewhere on the web, find out the answers to these questions. Now you are going to round all your calculations to the nearest dollar. Your median salary is considered your gross pay. We actually are not using our median salary. We're going to use our starting salary. And in my case, it was $41,192. Yours is probably different. This is gross pay. You never see your gross pay. This does not take taxes out. We're assuming that you received the starting pay that you looked up your first year out of college. We want to see how much you'll make in the first 10 years. Now, assume you're getting a 5% raise each year. Now, you're not actually going to get a 5% raise because of economical reasons, but 5%, remember, is 0.05 each year. So you are making 5% more than the previous year's salary. This is the same as 0.05. So you're going to fill out this chart. Years of experience is the same as X. The way you're going to do it is take your salary, which is the same as Y. You're going to take your previous year's salary plus 5%, because you're still making what you made the previous year, times the previous year salary, PYS, previous year salary. So my starting salary is year 0. So in my case, it would be $41,192. Now for year 1, I'm going to take my previous year salary, which would be year 0. So I'm going to take $41,192 because I'm still going to make it, but I'm getting a 5% raise. So I'm going to add on 0.05 times 41,192. When I do that, 0.05 times 41,192 is $2,059.60. So I'm going to take my 41,192 plus 2,059.6. Now you're going to round all your calculations to the nearest dollar. So when I add those two together, plus 41,192, I'm going to get plus 2,059.6. I get 43,251.6. So I'm going to round that to 4,000. I'm going to write it up here. $43,252. So that would be my year 1. Now for year 2, my previous year's salary is going to be $43,252 plus 0.05 times 43,252 to get a new answer. Whatever I get is this answer, that's going to be what I would put down in year 3. And you'll continue this process until you get to year 9. Now, net pay is what you actually take home. So due to Social Security, taxes, and other withholdings, you do not receive about 30% of your paycheck. So even though you're making a certain amount, your paycheck will be less. To get to see how much you see or take home, you need to multiply the numbers you have in column 2. This is column 2. You're going to take all these numbers and multiply by what you will take home. So you're going to multiply that. If you do not see 30%, you will see 70%. So you're going to multiply it by 0.7. So you're going to do your starting salary times 0.7. So for your starting salary, my starting salary was $41,192. I'm going to write 41,192 times 0.7, and that's going to give me $28,834. It's 0.4, but we're rounding to the nearest dollar. Then I'm going to take year 1, which was 43,252. 43,252, multiply that by 0.7. So when I multiply 43,252 times 0.7, I'm going to make $30,276. And I'm going to continue this process the whole way down. Now you're going to graph this, now that you have all your information. So you need, on a separate piece of paper, you're going to graph your graphs on the same page. Label which line is your gross pay and which is your net pay. So make sure to just follow the steps step by step. First thing, give your graph a heading or a title. Label your x-axis. Well, what are you going to label your x-axis? Look back here. You have years of experience and your salary. What do you think? Does your salary depend on your years of your experience, or experience depend on salary? Well, since salary depends on your years of experience, your salary depends on, so your salary is your y-axis, and your x-axis is your years of experience. We're going to be predicting in 30 years, so you are going to want to label it starting at year 0 and then go all the way to 30, maybe even 35 to go a little bit further. Your starting salary, think about what your y-axis is going to be. Your starting, this would be probably a break. And then you're going to start with your starting salary. And you're just going to keep going up using a pattern. Then you're going to graph them and make a line of best fit. Remember, you're going to have 2 line of best fits. If this is your data, your line of best fits is going to be a straight line. Use a ruler. Use a ruler to make your line of best fit through the middle. So make sure that you do that. Then you're going to find the equation of your line of best fit. You're going to do this for 2 different things. Look at your gross pay line of best fit. This comes from your line. You want to look at 2 ordered pairs on your line. If this is your graph and your line of best fit is like this, do not take any of those. Look at an X, see where it touches the Y. Get 2 ordered pairs on your line and write them down. So you need 2 XYs, X2, Y2. Then you're going to find the slope of your line. So remember the slope formula, n equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Then write the equation of your line of best fit for your gross pay using one of the ordered pairs and the slope. So remember, y equals mx plus b. You know your slope you got from here, and use one of your ordered pairs. So you're going to plug x and y in and solve for b, then write your equation. Then predict how much gross money you'll earn in 30 years. Think, is 30 years your X or your Y? Remember, X was the number of years and Y was that. So you're going to plug 30 into your equation and solve for Y. Then you're going to do that exact same process only with your net pay. So you're going to do everything that you did here, only you're going to do it for your net pay line of best fit. Remember, you're using your line of best fit for all of these. Then you're going to answer these questions about your graph. So think very realistically about them. We have a rubric here. So make sure that you have an appropriate layout. You're going to do a project. Your project needs to have 2 Excel graphs. The Excel, how to make a graph in Excel, is on Blended Schools Network video. One graph should show your gross pay, one should show your net pay. You must have a picture of yourself, 5 points. An explanation of your job. Include your final equations you created, gross and net pay, and label them. You must include both your gross pay and net pay earnings during your 30th year. So how much did you make? Include a heading for your poster and creativity and neatness. This is worth 30 points. Your graph made by hand, everything here that's laid out for you, your X and Y axis, give it a title. A key, which is your gross pay, what's your net pay? Your line of best fit for your gross pay. Your line of best fit for your net pay. On the back of your graph, you must show your final equation. All work must be shown. All work must be shown. So basically, everything you did here must be on the back of your graph. On the back of your graph, show your gross pay during the 30th year and show your net pay during the 30th year for a total score of 50 points for the project.